morning, welcome back to the show. 11:55 is the time. Let's talk about woke Whitehall waste. I mean, we could do the entire show on that every single day, could we not? But what's the latest with William Yarwood? He's a media campaign manager at Taxpayers Alliance, who keep a very close eye on these things. Good morning to you.
Good morning, Julia.
Thank you for joining us. This time, what's the money being spent on?
Well, we're getting more Pride marches. That's right.
Yay! That's what we need. More. You know what? You know what? People are always calling into the show, going, "You know what? We don't get enough of Pride marches."
Yeah, and also the biggest issue is actually it's not receiving enough taxpayer funding. I'm sure some of your callers will complain about that in great length. But yeah, Manchester Pride's got a new amount of money. Pride Cymru got an extra £900 of public money as well, and Belfast Pride also got an extra £750, which is
our money. Sorry, of our money.
Yeah. Oh, sorry, of taxpayers' money. The viewers listening at home.
Hold on a minute. Hold on. This is a bit I don't get. I mean, some of this is actually being money paid, like the Cabinet Office paying over £3,000 to 4 different organisers. They call them LGBTQ plus events. I never know what the plus is or what the Q is for. But so that government employees can join in the official parades. Sorry. Do these parades charge people, and why are they doing it? Why are government employees paid for by you and me, and why they're doing it in their own time? I mean, in our time.
Well, because this type of ideology is deeply embedded inside of our public sector, Julia, as I'm sure you know. I mean, last year, Whitehall spent around £27 million on EDI schemes, projects, officers, the works, and there's about 380 odd diversity officers inside of Whitehall altogether.
I'm sorry, don't.
And they have, Julia, get this, an average salary of £53,000.
Of course they do. They earn more than nurses, but you know what? They're making the world a more equitable, inclusive place. Of course they aren't. They're just busy trying to sack people who say, actually, men can't become women. But this is the thing. We keep being told that the Tories got rid of a load of this, and they didn't. Labour are fully on board with all this, but they tell us we haven't got any money, we're going to have to put taxes up. But this is exactly the sort of stuff that should be the first on the list to buy, not necessary, buy, not necessary. This is the sort of stuff we'd want Elon Musk to come in and deal with.
Yeah, quite. But the issue is I don't think anybody has the courage or the energy to actually do this in government, or indeed in the past government. I know you have Tom Slater on the show quite a lot, and I actually read an article for Spike last week called "Why DEI Won't Die," because there's been lots of celebrations from people recently about woke being dead in the private
people writing
sector.
books about it, not knowing what they're talking about.
Exactly, and my argument was like, well, I work at the TPA. I know a little bit about how all this is funded, and actually, the work, as you would call it, is doing very nicely inside of the public sector, in our bureaucracies, in local government, in the NHS. I mean, you want to talk about diversity spending? The NHS spent about £40 million on diversity officers and earmarked about 1.8 million quid for events like International Pronouns Day and Embracing Asexuality Day.
I can't. I've got to do another hour, and I'm going to be crying. I'm going to tear out what little hair I've got left. But this is, but we can't afford to pay a new radiographer so we can get people treated quicker for cancer. I mean, that's where we are, isn't it? Every single penny that is spent on this nonsense is a penny that could be spent on making our country better, saving lives, teaching children, whatever. It's all money that could be spent better.
Yeah, and it sort of digs into something a bit deeper. It feels like sort of the social contract between taxpayers and the state is completely broken. Yeah. If you play by the rules, you pay your taxes. You don't scrounge off the welfare state, so on and so forth. You expect public services decent in return. Yeah. But where do you see your money going? It goes on work projects, and foreign aid, legal mining hotels,
and more trans pride flags. Oh, William, you've upset me so much. William Yarwood from the Taxpayers Alliance. Thank you very much. Keep up the good work.